Stephen Tainter volunteered for service in American regiments many times during the Revolutionary War. In the early 1830s, he gave this sworn testimony in court as part of the process for applying for a soldier's pension. His testimony is as follows. Declaration of Stephen Tainter in order to obtain the benefit of the Act of Congress, passed June 7, 1832. State of New York, Genesee County. On this 16th day of October in the year 1832, presently appear in open court before the judge of the Court of Common Plea, now sitting in the town of Batavia and for the county of Genesee and state of New York, being a court of record and having a seal, Stephen Tainter, a resident of the town of Wethersfield in the county of Genesee and state of New York, aged 72 years on the October 13, 1832, who being first duly sworn according to law, doth on his oath, spoke the following declaration in order to obtain the benefit of the Act of Congress passed June 7, 1832. That he entered the service of the United States under the following named officers and served as herein stated. That in December in the forepart, in 1776, he enlisted while he was residing in Westborough in the county of Worcester, Massachusetts, with the State Service of Massachusetts in a company commanded by Captain Kimball, Lieutenant Rice, and in Colonel Sparrowhawk's regiment and in General Warner's brigade, served as a drummer, enlisted for 3 months, marched to Hartford, hence to Danbury, Connecticut, and then went to Peekskill, New York, and remained there about a month, and then went downriver and crossed over at King's Ferry, and went into New Jersey and was stationed at Bound Brook near Bridgewater, and remained there until March 30th, 1777, when his time expired. He was totally dismissed and went home. That sometime in April 1777, he enlisted or volunteered again in the state militia for 6 weeks and went to Providence, Rhode Island under Captain Brigham as a 6-week drummer, and served the 6 weeks, was then totally dismissed and went home. That sometime in June 1777, soon after his return, he volunteered again and went as a private to Half Moon on North River for 2 months. That he thinks he was in Captain Brigham's company and was in General Warner's brigade. Cannot recollect the name of his regiment. That while there he was ordered to go to Bennington and arrived there the day after the battle and remained till his 2 months expired, and he was dismissed and went home. That immediately after he got home, he was called out again and volunteered for 3 months and went to Tull's Mills in Scaghtikoke, was in Captain Brigham's company in Colonel Wheeler's regiment. That he remained at Tull's Mills until after Burgoyne surrendered, and was then dismissed having served his term out, and then went home. Said he served as a drummer. That in March 1778 he volunteered again as a private soldier for 2 months and went to Rhode Island and was stationed at Tiverton and served his term there. That he cannot recollect the names of any of his officers. That he was dismissed and went home. That in July 1778 he volunteered again for 5 months and went to Rhode Island as a drummer, and was in General Sullivan's army, in Captain Nathaniel Fisher's company in Colonel Wade's regiment. That Wilson was major, and Wood was lieutenant colonel. That he was on the island at the time of the battle but was not in it and retreated with the army from the island. That he served the whole of his time there, was dismissed and went home. That he never received any discharge, has no documentary evidence of his services, and knows of no person living by whom he can prove his services. That he was born in Westborough, Worcester Company, Massachusetts, October 13, 1760. That since the war he has lived in New Fane, Windham County, Vermont, 11 years in Sheldon in Massachusetts, 2 years in Somers in Connecticut, 1 year in Bradford, Vermont, 2 years in Ludlow, Massachusetts, 3 years. That he has practiced for almost 30 years in a great many places and cannot recollect them all. That he has lived in Gainesville and Wethersfield, 2 adjoining towns, about 12 years. That the Reverends Augustus Herbert and Nelson Burdick live in his neighborhood, are well acquainted with him, and can testify as to his character for veracity and their belief in his services as a soldier of the Revolution. He hereby relinquishes every claim whatsoever to a pension or an annuity except the present, and declares that his name is set on the pension roll of the agency of any state. Stephen Tainter, subscribed and sworn to the day and year aforesaid in open court. Timothy Fitch, Clerk. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating stories from history.